Grand Rising, my kings and queens. It's your girl Mell B live on Lux Radio Network. It's Tuesday, November 25th. Tell me something good Tuesday. This is the day we celebrate wins, big or small, and spread positivity like wildfire. Whether it's a personal victory, a community success, or just a reason to smile. Today is about sharing the good news and keeping our spirits lifted. Let's fill the airwaves with joy and gratitude. Our affirmation of the day is I choose joy and celebrate progress in every form. Tuesdays highlight positivity. This affirmation encourages us to recognize wins, big or small, and embrace gratitude as fuel for the day. Our word of the day is harmony. It's a state of balance and peace. This word reminds us to celebrate unity and good energy in our lives. Our urban word of the day is aura, the vibe or energy someone or something gives off. All right, on to our news headlines for New York. New York City Council debates new affordable housing plan, and Broadway theaters report record-breaking audiences this fall. Los Angeles. Hollywood studios announce major AI guidelines for film production. LA Metro expands new electric bus fleet. In Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson touts continued drop in violent crime, but clashes with federal immigration raids. City prepares for their holiday events. Atlanta, Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene announces resignation in January. Georgia ranks second highest in student loan debt nationally, and Marta launches free holiday rides. Houston, officials raise concern over federal election security shakeup. Dramatic photos show UPS cargo plane ablaze mid-flight, and Houston Country Radio Station wins 5th CMA award. Washington, D.C., Congress debates bills to reinstate cash bail and reverse police reforms. D.C. Council introduces Prosper D.C. plan to boost affordability and economic opportunities. Miami New Times highlights viral incident at kids' dance studio, sparking cultural debate. Editorial coverage in Miami's political and community developments are arise. Tampa, Metropolitan Ministries urgently request donations to meet soaring Thanksgiving demand. 500 families receive meals through the Bullard Family Foundation. Tarpon Springs, good morning, Dad. Habitat for Humanity announces closure of the resale stores in nearby counties, impacting regional support. Milwaukee, good morning, Ree. TSA expects record-breaking travel after Thanksgiving. Parade memorial sculpted by artists with Waukesha roots unveiled, and Consumer Reports share holiday baking guide. Jackson, Mississippi, Festive North Pole exhibit opens at the Mississippi Children's Museum. And the Byram's Turkey Trot raises funds for Alzheimer's research. Laurel Shelter seeks Christmas donations. Vancouver, Prime Minister Mark Carney visits Abu Dhabi to boost investment ties. BC health workers reach tentative 4-year deal. Fundraiser rose for tragic death of 8-year-old girl. Toronto, Canada Post reaches deal with principal within the union, suspending the strike. Finch West LRT set to open December 7th, and thousands rally against controversial Bill 60 on National Housing Day. Kingston, regional convention on early childhood education is set once again for November 27th through the 28th at UWI. Jamaica Stock Exchange market research competition strengthens financial sector, and the NWC distances itself from sewage overflow downtown. Montego Bay, Megamart to close hurricane damaged store after total loss. Indian community raises $10 million for hurricane recovery, and JN Money Agent locations reopen across Western Jamaica. Ocho Rios. The MSC Cruises delivers hurricane relief supplies. Port of Ocho Rios reopens, boosting tourism optimism, and Carnival Corporation's Holland, America resumes docking. Negril. Postal operations commence at Negril's interim location. Jamaica Fashion Spotlight at Sweet Like Jam cultural event. Relief efforts mobilized after Hurricane Melissa. Cayman Islands. Government unveils $10 million waste reduction and recycling plan. Budget debate sparks opposition tensions over $2.5 billion spending plan. And the Cayman robotics team heads to a global competition. Bahamas. Republican Sheila McCormick charged with stealing $5 million FEMA funds. Bahamas government closes airports and seaports to U.S. visitors amid policy changes. Nigeria. President Tinubu postpones trips to South Africa and Angola after Kibi and Kwara attacks. PDP urges suspense of express payment solutions over fraud concerns, and World Bank report highlights poor learning environments undermining education. In Ghana, court begins hearing on alleged civil marriage of Miss Sirwa to late Daddy Lumba. East EOCO rescues 7 traffic Nigerians and busts major cyber fraud ring. Ghana police arrest suspect in Jawaba mining site robbery. On to our weather. New York, mostly sunny, high near 50, low around 40. Los Angeles, clear skies, high of 72, low of 55. Chicago, partly cloudy, high of 46, low of 35. Atlanta, mild and sunny, high of 63, low of 45. Houston, mostly sunny, high of 70, low of 55. Washington, D.C., clear, high of 52, low of 42. Miami, warm and mostly sunny, high of 82, low of 73. Tampa, sunny, high of 81, low of 72. Tarpon Springs, clear skies, high of 80, low of 71. Milwaukee, partly cloudy, high of 44, low of 33. Jackson, Mississippi, sunny, high of 65, low of 47. Vancouver, cloudy with light showers, high of 50, low of 42. Toronto, partly sunny, high of 46, low of 36. Kingston, mostly sunny, high of 86, low of 76. Montego Bay, sunny, high of 85, low of 75. Ocho Rios, clear skies, high of 85, low of 76. And Negril, mostly sunny, high of 85 and low of 76. Cayman Islands, mostly sunny, high of 85, low of 80. And the Bahamas, mostly sunny, high of 82 and low of 73. Nigeria, sunny and hot, high of 97, low of 71. And Ghana, mostly sunny with a high of 89 and a low of 79. All right, on to our sports recap. Last night in Monday Night Football, we had the 49ers over the Panthers, 20-9. And in NBA final scores from yesterday, we have the Pistons over the Pacers, 122-117. The Raptors over the Cavaliers from 110-99. The Knicks over the Nets, 113-100. The Heat over the Mavericks, 104-102. The Nuggets over the Grizzlies, 125-115. The Pelicans over the Bulls, 143-130. The Trailblazers over the Bucks, 115-103. The Rockets over the Suns, 114-92. The Kings over the Timberwolves, 117-112. And the Warriors over the Jazz, 134-117. Tonight in the NBA, we have the Hawks versus the Wizards with tip-off at 6 o'clock. The Magic versus 76ers. The tip-off is at 7 p.m. on NBC and Peacock, and the Clippers versus the Lakers with tip-off at 10 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. All right, on to our daily feature today, which is Tell Me Something Good Tuesday. Our spotlight is a new weapon against malaria. Tell Me Something Good Tuesday is the day we celebrate wins and spread joy. And today's good news could save millions of lives. In November 2025, Novartis and Medicines for Malaria Venture announced a breakthrough drug called Ganlum. In final stage trials, it showed 90% effectiveness, a game changer in the fight against malaria. Malaria still claims over 600,000 lives every year, most of them children under 5 in sub-Saharan Africa. For decades, drug resistance has threatened the process, leaving families vulnerable. But Ganlum works differently than existing treatments, offering hope where it was fading. This isn't just science, it's humanity at its best. It's researchers, nonprofits, and communities working together to fight a disease that has plagued generations. And now, for the first time in decades, the tide may be turning. So the science behind it is malaria is caused by parasites transmitted through mosquito bites. Traditional drugs targeted the parasite's life cycle, but resistance builds over time. Ganlum disrupts the parasite in a new way, making it harder for resistance to develop. That's why this breakthrough matters so much. So today's good news is global, a reminder that persistence, innovation, and compassion can save lives. And that's something worth celebrating. All right, on to our book club where we're finishing the 48 Laws of Power. Today we are on Law 45, which is preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Change is necessary, but people resist when it feels overwhelming. Introduce reforms gradually so they're accepted instead of rejected. In business, when leading organizational change, introduce new systems gradually. Sudden overhauls create resistance. Incremental steps build buy-in. In life, in personal growth, don't try to change everything all at once. Small, consistent shifts, like adjusting one habit at a time, are more sustainable. All right, on to our cause of the day. We're continuing this week with Mental Health Awareness Week. Our cause today is generalized anxiety, which is categorized by persistent, excessive worry about everyday things, health, work, and family, often without a specific reason. The worry is difficult to control and interferes with daily life. Symptoms: feeling restless or on edge, easily fatigued, difficulty concentrating, irritability, muscle tension, and sleep disturbances. Prevention and coping: practice mindful and breathing exercises, limit intake of caffeine and alcohol, set aside a specific worry time each day to contain and process intrusive thoughts. So treatment for this is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, to challenge negative thought patterns, relaxation techniques, and also anti-anxiety medication if it's prescribed. So resources and more information can be researched at the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADAA, which offers a wealth of informational resources and online support. All right, today in history, in 1783, British evacuation of New York. The last British troops left New York City after the American Revolution, marking a symbolic victory for the new nation. In 1960, the Mirabal sisters were assassinated. 3 Dominican advocates opposing dictator Rafael Trujillo were murdered, later symbolizing resistance and also inspiring the UN's International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And in 1963, JFK was buried at Arlington. President John F. Kennedy was laid to rest following his assassination, with millions worldwide mourning. In African American history today, in 1841, Amistad survivors returned to Africa. 35 Africans who won their freedom in U.S. courts returned to Sierra Leone. Their journey symbolized resilience against slavery and became a landmark in abolitionist history. In 1922, Marcus Garvey's speech in New York. Garvey outlined the principles of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, emphasizing Black pride, self-determination, and economic independence. In 1949, Ralph Bunche awarded Spear Medal. Bunche, a diplomat and Nobel Peace Prize winner, was honored for mediating conflicts at the United Nations, advancing African American leadership in global diplomacy. Our African American scientists and inventors. First off, we have George Washington Carver, an agricultural scientist who promoted crop rotation and developed hundreds of products from peanuts, sweet potatoes, and soybeans. His work improved nutrition and economic independence for poor farmers. Next, we have Percy Julian, chemist who pioneered the industrial synthesis of medicinal steroids from plants, laying the foundation for cortisone, birth control pills, and other drugs. And last, we have Lonnie Johnson. He was an engineer and inventor of the Super Soaker water gun. Johnson holds over 120 patents. He reinvested his earnings into energy technology research, advancing renewable power systems. All right, today in our Back to Roots segment, we are focusing on ancient Egyptian spirituality, or Ma'at. In ancient Kemet, or Egypt, spirituality revolved around Matat, the principle of truth, balance, and cosmic order. Egyptians believed that living in accordance with Ma'at ensured harmony in society and guaranteed peace in the afterlife. Priests and pharaohs upheld Ma'at through rituals, offerings, and temple practices. Gods like Ra, the sun, Isis, motherhood, or Orisis for rebirth, were honored as guardians of life and death. At judgment, a person's heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at. If balanced, the soul entered eternal life. If heavy with wrongdoing, it was destroyed. This philosophy reminds us that justice and balance are not just laws of society, they are laws of the universe. All right, in our fact or fiction segment today, we focus on the Amistad case and its legacy. In 1839, Africans aboard the Spanish ship La Amistad rose up against their captors, seizing control of the vessel. When the ship was intercepted near Long Island, the survivors were imprisoned and put on trial. Their case reached the U.S. Supreme Court, where former President John Quincy Adams argued for their freedom. On November 25, 1841, 35 survivors returned to Sierra Leone. The Amistad case became a landmark in abolitionist history, exposing the brutality of the transatlantic slave trade and inspiring movements for justice. Legends grew around this case. Whispers of secret abolitionist networks, coded messages, and hidden societies aiding enslaved Africans. While the myths may be exaggerated, the truth is powerful. The Amistad survivors proved that resistance and resilience could triumph against oppression. So the fact remains that the Africans aboard La Amistad revolted in 1839, won their freedom in the U.S. courts, and survivors returned to Sierra Leone in 1841. Where the fiction or the legend comes in is myths about secret abolitionist networks and coded societies grew around the case, but are not historically documented. So in our What's the Word segment today, I am giving a tribute to Miss Viola Ford Fletcher, or Mother Fletcher. Today we honor the extraordinary life of Viola Ford Fletcher, known to the world as Mother Fletcher. At 111 years old, she was the oldest living survivor of the Tulsa Race Massacre. a woman whose courage and testimony ensured that history would never be buried. Viola Ford Fletcher was born on May 10, 1914, in Comanche, Oklahoma. At just 7 years old, she lived through one of the darkest chapters in American history, the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, when white mobs destroyed the thriving Greenwood community known as Black Wall Street. She and her family fled with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Fletcher's family endured poverty, living in tents and working as sharecroppers. Despite only completing a fourth grade education, she built a life of resilience, working as a welder during World War II, raising 3 children, and later survived serving families as a housekeeper until the age of 85. For decades, Fletcher remained silent about the massacre, fearing reprisal. But in her later years, she became a powerful voice for justice. In 2021, she testified before Congress, describing the terror she witnessed. And I quote, "I still see Black men being shot, Black bodies lying in the street. I still smell smoke and see fire," end quote. In 2023, she published her memoir, "Don't Let Them Bury My Story," ensuring future generations would know the truth. She also joined lawsuits seeking reparations and traveled to Ghana in 2021, connecting the struggle for justice in Tulsa to the global African diaspora. Viola Ford Fletcher passed away yesterday, November 24th, 2025, surrounded by family. Tulsa Mayor Moreau Nichols said, I quote, "Mother Fletcher endured more than anyone should, yet she spent her life lighting a path forward with purpose," end quote. Viola Ford Fletcher lived through devastation, but she transformed her pain into purpose. Her voice carried the weight of history, reminding us that silence is never an option when justice is denied. Today, we honor her not only as a survivor, but as a teacher, a mother, and a beacon of truth. May her story continue to inspire generations to rise, remember, and rebuild. Okay, on to our tip of the day. Try ergonomic smart devices for comfort. Swap out traditional mice, keyboards, or chairs for ergonomic versions to adapt to your body. Devices like adjustable smart mice or posture correcting chairs can be synced with apps to track usage and recommend adjustments. Long hours at a desk can cause wrist pain, back strain, and fatigue. Ergonomic tech reduces these risks, improving comfort and productivity. In daily life, it means fewer aches and more energy for both work and personal objects. Finance tip of the day is check your credit report regularly. Use free annual credit report services to review your file from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Look for errors, fraudulent accounts, or outdated information. Your credit score affects loan approvals, interest rates, and even job applications. Catching mistakes early protects your financial reputation. In everyday life, this means lower borrowing costs and better opportunities. So, our fun fact of the day is the world's first website is still online. Tim Berners-Lee created the first website in 1991 as CERN, explaining the basics of the World Wide Web. Amazingly, the original site is still alive today, preserved as a digital time capsule. It's a reminder of how far we've come from a single page of text to billions of interconnected sites. Our fun holiday of the day is that today is National Parfait Day. Parfaits are layered desserts made with yogurt or ice cream, fruit, and crunchy toppings. This holiday is a sweet reminder to enjoy creativity in food. You can build your own parfait with seasonal fruits like cranberries or apples. It's also shopping reminder day, nudging people to finalize holiday lists before the rush. All right, our daily quote today is, I quote, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, end quote. Winston Churchill. This quote encourages persistence and resilience. All right, on to our music and entertainment section today. Wale's honest reflection. Rapper Wale released his new album, Everything Is a Lot, opening up about pressure, healing, and the struggles that success can't erase. The project is being praised for its vulnerability, with fans noting how it reflects broader conversations in hip hop about mental health and authenticity. In our celebrity gossip, we have Offset and Cardi B drama. Offset stirred controversy about after posting and deleting a claim that Cardi B's baby boy was, quote, my kid, end quote. The post offended Cardi, who clapped back publicly, reigniting gossip about their rocky relationship. Fans debated whether this was just trolling or a deeper issue. All right, our celebrity birthdays today, we have Donovan McNabb, who's a former NFL quarterback. He is 49. Jamie Grace, who is a contemporary Christian singer and songwriter, is 34. Eric Sermon, rapper and producer and a member of EPMD, is 57. Stacey Lattisaw, a R&B singer, is 59. Jocelyn Brown, also an R&B singer and dance music singer, is 75. And Ernest Harton Jr., actor known for The Jeffersons, is 73. All right, on to our lifestyle segment. Today, our soul food recipe is collard greens with smoked turkey with a beverage pairing of sparkling apple cider. In our men's health tip today, limit sodium to protect your heart health and make those end of the year doctor's appointments. And in women's health, schedule regular self breast exams for early awareness, and also make your next mammogram appointment. In relationship tips for the day, for couples, trust your instincts. If someone outside your relationship pretends to support you but stirs drama or doubt, don't ignore the red flags. Keep private matters between you and your partner. Fake friends or outsiders may exploit vulnerabilities. And present a strong front together. Fake people thrive on division. Don't give them that power. All right, in friendships, not everyone who calls themselves a friend truly is one. Fake friends often show up when it benefits them, but disappear when you need genuine support. Protecting your peace means learning to recognize the difference. For coworkers, fake coworkers may also act friendly, but also only when it benefits their career. Keep records of agreements or projects. Fake allies may shift blame or take credit. Don't match their energy. Maintain integrity and let your consistent work speak louder than their gains. And family. Fake family members may use guilt or favoritism to control situations. It's okay to limit access to your personal life if someone repeatedly proves insecure. And invest energy in relatives who show consistent love and respect, not those who wear masks. And your daily chore for today is vacuum under the furniture. Hidden dust impacts your air quality. On to our horoscopes, where we always start with Aries. Aries, old desires resurface with new meaning. Career opportunities demand decisive action. Love feels stable, but when you're urged to be honest, be truthful. Your compatibility, you're best aligned with Leo, who matches your fiery courage and passion. Taurus, love surprises you with unexpected encounters. Career may feel delayed, but perseverance pays off. Financial caution is advised. You're strongest with Virgo, who grounds your emotional depth with practicality. Gemini, financial opportunities arise. Trust your instincts. You crave stability over variety in relationships. Communication is key to avoid misunderstandings. You're best with Libra, who balances your airy curiosity with harmony. Cancer, emotional connections deepen. You're magnetic and people are drawn to your sincerity. Bold career move decisions may be required. You're strongest with Pisces, who shares your emotional depth and intuition. Leo, submerged emotions arise, offering clarity. Adventure calls in career and love. Express yourself boldly. Your best pair with Sagittarius, who fuels your adventurous spirit. Virgo, clarity arrives in career decisions. Vulnerability strengthens love bonds. Sensitivity is an asset today. You're strongest with Capricorn, who matches your discipline and focus. Libra, ambitions are emotionally charged. You crave meaning beyond societal expectations. Both paths, both paths feel aligned with your truth. You're best with Gemini, who complements your need for balance and intellectual connection. Scorpio, Venus in your sign intensifies desires. Emotional honesty transforms relationships, and career benefits from deep focus. You're strongest with Cancer, who understands your emotional intensity. Sagittarius, optimism fuels bold moves. Relationships deepen through emotional closeness rather than adventure. Career paths expand. You're best with Aries, who shares your fiery enthusiasm. Capricorn, career clarity strengthens your path. Emotional vulnerability enhances love. Financial stability is favored. You're strongest with Virgo, who shares your grounded determination. Aquarius, Moon trine Uranus highlights unconditional love. Stability doesn't mean sacrificing freedom, and emotional closeness is prioritized. You're best with Gemini, who thrives on your innovative energy. And Pisces, emotional instincts guide you. Intimacy feels safe, and creativity flourishes. Career may require bold decisions. Compatible with strongest with Cancer, who mirrors your emotional sensitivity. On tomorrow's show, we highlight Women in Business Wednesday, which shines on trailblazers plus a financial tip on diversifying investments, baked macaroni and cheese in the lifestyle segment, and Megan Thee Stallion's powerful testimony in entertainment news. Thank you to our sponsors, Bello Burn Hot Sauce, RAS Herbals, and Clarion Candles. In announcements, Rise Up Jamaica's benefit concert will be held this Friday, November 28th at 7 p.m. on Lux Radio Network. The concert is free, but you must have a ticket to watch. So go to luxradio.com, click on the events tab, and grab your tickets. There will be numerous performers and other surprises. So make sure you tune in and watch for flyers regarding the benefit on all platforms. Also, there will be a Christmas concert on December 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lux Radio as well. Also, it's free and you must register as well. Remember today to watch Kickback with Cookie on Lux Radio Network. Her special guest this evening will be Badu Black. And that's a wrap, fam. Remember, life doesn't come with captions, so make sure your action speaks louder than your hashtags. So until tomorrow, my kings and queens, this is your girl, Mell B. Stay fly, stay fierce, but stay grounded. And don't let nobody dim your shine. Period.